Board Architecture 101. How to organize Pinterest boards so the algorithm actually finds you. Random boards confuse Pinterest's algorithm. A clear board structure tells it exactly who to show your pins to. Most creators treat Pinterest boards like junk drawers, a place to dump pins under whatever label felt fastest at the time. Then they wonder why an account with hundreds of pins still gets barely any impressions outside people who already follow them. Pinterest isn't a social feed that rewards posting frequency. It's a visual search engine, closer in spirit to Google than to Instagram. And a search engine needs categories it can trust. If your boards are a mess of overlapping, vaguely named piles, Pinterest genuinely does not know which searches your content deserves to show up in. Fix the board layer first, and the pins you're already making start working harder without a single new caption. Why board structure is an SEO problem, not a tidiness problem. Pinterest's ranking system reads signals at 3 levels: the pin, the board it lives on, and the account overall. A single well-optimized pin can rank on its own merits, but board context is a strong secondary signal that tells Pinterest what topic cluster your account belongs to. When a board titled "Stuff I Like" holds pins about meal planning, home organization, and freelance invoicing all mixed together, Pinterest can't build a confident topical profile of that board or of your account. Spread that confusion across 10 boards, and you've told the algorithm, "I have no clear expertise," the opposite of what gets surfaced for high-intent searches. Compare that to an account with tightly scoped boards, Notion templates for freelancers, freelance invoicing tips, client onboarding systems. Each board reinforces the others because they sit inside the same niche. Pinterest starts to see the account as an authority on freelance business systems, so new pins get a trust boost before they've earned a single save. That authority compounds the same way it does for creators who consistently sell one clear thing through store.fan instead of scattering 10 unrelated offers across a bio link. Naming boards like a search bar, not a scrapbook. Open Pinterest's search bar and start typing your topic. The autocomplete suggestions are free keyword research most creators never use for board names. If you sell budgeting spreadsheets, typing budget surfaces phrases like budget planner printable, budget template for beginners, and budget binder ideas. Those are real, high-volume phrases people search. Money stuff is not one of them, and boards named that way lose out to competitors who did 5 minutes of autocomplete research. 2 extra rules worth locking in. Keep names between 3 and 5 words, long enough to be specific, short enough to display fully on mobile, and put the most important keyword phrase first rather than burying it at the end of a clever title. Notion templates for small business owners outperforms small business owners. Notion templates I love because Pinterest and human scanners weight the first few words most heavily. Writing board descriptions that actually do something. Board descriptions are the most underused SEO field on the entire platform. You get up to 500 characters, and the vast majority of accounts leave this blank or fill it with a single throwaway sentence. That's wasted keyword real estate. A strong board description does 3 things: states who the board is for, lists the specific subtopics or formats included, and naturally repeats 2 or 3 keyword variations without turning into a spam list. Here's a working example for a board called Digital Planner Templates for Notion. Digital planner templates and printable planner pages built for Notion and GoodNotes. Find daily planner layouts, weekly planner spreads, budget trackers, and habit trackers designed for students, freelancers, and small business owners who want a simple digital planning system. Notice it covers the tool, the format, and the audience, 3 separate search angles in one natural paragraph. First sentence states exactly what's on the board in plain language, includes at least 2 keyword variations a searcher might type, mentions the intended audience or use case, students, small business, moms, etc. Mentions format where relevant, printable, digital, template, checklist. Reads naturally out loud, no comma-separated keyword stuffing, under 500 characters. Front-loaded so the key info shows before the see more cutoff. Topic clustering. Broad boards feeding specific ones. The strongest Pinterest accounts don't have 10 equally broad boards. They have a small number of umbrella boards, each feeding 2 or 3 narrower subboards underneath, like a site's category and subcategory pages. A candle-making creator might run a broad candle making for beginners board alongside tighter siblings like soy candle recipes, candle packaging ideas, and candle business branding. Someone searching the broad term discovers the account through the umbrella board. Someone searching a specific term lands directly on the subboard that matches their intent. Clustering also solves the overlap problem that quietly tanks a lot of accounts. Pins that could plausibly fit 3 different boards. Ask, what would someone type into the search bar right before finding this pin useful? And the answer almost always points to one specific board, not 3 loosely related ones. A board is a promise to the algorithm about what lives inside it. Every off-topic pin you drop in breaks that promise a little more. Matching pins to boards, and why newest board isn't a strategy. A common shortcut is dropping every new pin onto whichever board was created most recently, because it sits at the top of the picker. That habit is exactly how boards drift off topic over months of otherwise good pinning. Instead, before publishing a pin, ask which existing board a cold searcher, someone who has never heard of you, would expect that exact image and headline to live on. If the honest answer is none of them fit well, you've found a real gap, and it's time to create a new, tightly named board rather than force a mismatch. Write the pin's core keyword phrase down before choosing a board, e.g. budget planner for couples. Scan your board list for the closest topical match to that exact phrase. If no board matches within 1 or 2 words, that's your signal to create a new subboard. Pin to that one best fit board first, then repine to at most 1 or 2 secondary boards if genuinely relevant. Revisit boards quarterly and move obviously mismatched pins. Pinterest does reward cleanup, not just first placement. Quick audit tip. Open your 10 oldest boards and read only the titles top to bottom as if you were a stranger. If you can't guess what 3 of them contain just from the name, rename them today. That's lost search traffic sitting in plain sight. Turning board traffic into actual sales. Board architecture gets you found. What happens after the click is a separate job. And it's where well-organized Pinterest accounts still leave money on the table, sending a warmed-up, high-intent searcher to a generic homepage or a bio link cluttered with 5 unrelated options. Someone who searched budget planner printable, found your pin, and clicked through is about as qualified a visitor as you'll ever get. That's the moment for a storefront that delivers instantly. Connect the pin to a product page where you can open your store, fan, and have that exact planner ready to buy, delivered to their inbox the second Stripe or PayPal clears the payment. Board naming and product naming should speak the same language too. If your board is Wedding Budget Spreadsheet Templates, your product title should echo that phrase closely. Look at a live example store to see how a tightly themed catalog reads to a visitor arriving with one specific need in mind: a simple monthly maintenance rhythm. Board architecture isn't a one-time setup task. Search phrases shift with seasons and trends, and boards that made sense a year ago can go stale. Block 20 minutes once a month to rename any board whose title no longer matches how people search. Pinterest Trends, free inside the platform, shows rising and falling terms by topic, rewrite one description with fresher phrasing, and merge boards that have drifted into covering the same ground. That habit keeps your account's topical signal sharp, the same way reviewing your product mix keeps a storefront from going stale. Check the blog for more guides on keeping both in shape. None of this requires a Pinterest overhaul in a single afternoon. Rename 3 boards this week, write 2 real descriptions, and audit where your last 10 pins actually landed. Structure compounds quietly. The account that spends an hour organizing its shelves this month is the one whose pins from 6 months ago are still pulling in fresh, qualified traffic long after the posting stopped. Key takeaways. Boards are the taxonomy Pinterest's algorithm uses to route your pins into search results. Sloppy naming and overlap actively suppress reach. Board titles should read like real search phrases people type, not brand voice cleverness. Board descriptions are prime keyword real estate that most creators leave blank. Every pin should belong on the board a stranger searching that exact topic would expect to find it on, not the board that's most convenient for you. A clustered structure, broad boards feeding into specific subboards, mirrors how Pinterest itself organizes topics, which makes discovery easier in both directions. Start your creator store free at store.fan.